Welcome to Mindful Objective, the podcast where we uncover the root causes of health issues as we explore holistic solutions to help you reclaim your health. I'm your host, Dr. Daniel Sproul, integrative health practitioner and professor. I'm joined by Gerardo Ortega. Today on Real Talk, we're diving into a question that hits home for just about everyone. When does health actually matter to you? For some, it's after diagnosis. For others, it's only when they're in pain. We'll be talking about why so many people delay caring for their health until something goes wrong, like a heart attack, diabetes, or chronic burnout, and why it's so hard to invest in prevention. We'll also look at the cost of waiting, how integrative health shifts the conversation, and what it really means to prioritize wellness before a crisis hits. A quick medical disclaimer before we begin. The podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. We do not diagnose, treat, or cure any illness or disease. So let's get into it.
How's it going, Dan? Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, pretty good. How you doing?
Doing all right. You know, it's, since we live in the area of the Chicagoland area, lately we've been having nice days, and lately we've been having some really rainy, wet days.
Yeah, luckily, the other day yesterday we didn't get hit with all these tornadoes like all these other counties did. But the whole Midwest got tore up.
Yeah, I've been seeing that lately, like their little radar is just, for some reason, Illinois has been getting attacked so much with tornado, like especially, I think I seen a thing today that said 17 million were under a tornado warning watch. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was big. For those that don't know, we live in the Chicagoland area, so that's where we're coming from. But we're a virtual practice anywhere in the world. We do have clients in Canada, Australia, and so forth. But our primary focus, United States. Again, we're a virtual practice, so wherever you are, you can get in touch with us.
That's right. Hey, so for this particular podcast, I had myself questions as well. It's like just and I think, I don't know if I'm the only one or there's people out there that see this all the time, but a lot of people always wake up for, not wake up, but wait for a wake up call. Is it, they would do it more when it's too late, as far as like when they're bad with diabetes, they'll get a heart attack. That's when they'll do change. Why is that?
Yeah, it's tough. That's where, I think a lot of people get confused on, prevention, how to prevent their health issues versus wait till they have a health issue. It's a major crisis. I always see too is, out there, it's a lot of people don't want to spend money, or it could be education wise too. Like people assume they go to their physician and their physician's there to heal them. And that's not what a physician does, right? A physician treats a symptom. So you see that a lot, right? Oh, I go to a doctor all the time. Well, most people, especially men, say, I never see a doctor. I'll see a doctor when I'm sick. It's like you could do routine blood work and just know. At least I look at lab work as, if I do it every year, and my numbers are getting better or worse, what do I need to do? Or if you get cancer, you could at least find out based on that and say, what's my treatment options for cancer versus you have, 1 week to live. Like, I don't want to wait to that point.
No, heck no. That is the scary word right there, man. The C word. I think everybody's scared of it. I'm scared of it too, just going in for a routine checkup and then figuring out later on, hey, we found this in your body. But, it's just hopefully with all the preventative, maintenance that I'm doing now could prevent me from possibly any future disease.
Yeah. And I do have friends out there. I do have friends out there that just think, out of sight, out of mind. Like, I don't want blood work done. And if they do find something, who cares? I'm going to die anyway. I look at it from a different perspective of, I have kids. I want to be here for them for as long as possible. My parents died early. I don't want to have them go through what I went through, or my brothers and sisters. So I always look at, I want to be here long for my kids. So what can I do on their behalf? And it's kind of lazy. Just I'll worry about it when I die. It's like, no, it's not fair for our kids to go through that. So.
You cannot have that mindset for too long. I have mine 3 to worry. My 3 boys plus my wife. So it's like, it takes a lot, it's just one of those things that's, I'm taking care of myself and my family to live a healthier, longer life.
Yeah. And that's what we got to. I mean, it's more than us in this life. And you're no good to your wife and kids dead.
No.
So you're not going to benefit them. Maybe life insurance.
I was about to say that right now. Unless you have a pretty heavy life insurance, well then that's when you will that's when you truly benefit your wife.
Yeah, from financial standpoint, but on a, physical and stuff standpoint, sad situation. But yeah, I'm out of, I think I was like 11, 12, 13 when my dad died, and didn't really hit me till I had my first daughter. And then it really hit me like, where's my dad? Like, where was my dad?
All the feels flooded in, man.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe I shut it out from a young age, seeing him die on hospice, to like 26 and realizing, hey, I'm a father now, and where's my dad? So it's tough. It's a tough life. I have friends going through a lot of things with their parents too, and their fathers, and it's tough, man. But yeah, but let's be honest. Most people don't wake up one day and say, today I'm going to overhaul my health. How many people you hear like that?
Not many. That's when I ended up, that's the time, or I should say that was the boat that I was on about a year and a half ago when I reached out to you. That was when I was doing all my woodworking, and I had so many orders, and I was going to work in the sun, well, before the summer hit, on the warmer days, burning myself out at work, coming home, having dinner early, and hanging out in the garage for hours, just pumping out planters, cedar woodworking planters, and that's slowly, I noticed I started declining on myself, this year, with all the preventative maintenance, with me taking my supplements, with me eating better, eating cleaner, eating more, I want to see what kind of differences I'm gonna have. Am I gonna last longer? Am I gonna be able to perform more in the garage? To pump out more work.
Yeah, talking about it, that side of the business. Plug away. What's your Instagram for your woodworking?
For the woodworking one is that one is Ortega Works _.
All one word?
Yes, all one word, and that is on Instagram. I do not have a Facebook for that, but that's where I have one of my specialties that I love to do is cornhole. Also, people know them as bags. I do custom planters, so anybody that needs, just minor work here and there, just like handyman work as well.
Yep. So Ortega Works. Is it WORKS?
Yes.
Okay. So Ortega Works _ on Instagram. If anybody wants to reach out, check out his planners and other woodworking stuff. And local people in the area, any other kind of services, he's available. So the truth is, for many, the journey toward better health starts, usually after a wake-up call. And who wants to have a heart attack and then decide, I'm going to eat healthy?
No, and that's exactly how it is. Like there's many people out there that I've known, close, that something has had to happen for their outer circle, as in their friends or family. They'll take it more like in a drastic form, as in, oh, well, I don't want to get to that position. I don't want that to happen to me. So let me change myself. Let me change my way I eat. Let me hit the gym. Let me take care of myself. But why wait that long when you could do it right now? When nothing is bothering you now, when nothing is hurting you now, why not prevent anything from hurting in the future?
As my famous quote is, if you can't afford to be healthy, you really can't afford to be sick. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Okay, you don't have $300 to do preventative testing or get supplements and get on the right track. But where do you come up with $3,000 for a CT scan or MRI? Like, I know people say, I have insurance. Okay, well, what's your co-insurance? What's your deductible? What do you get billed? There's still a cost associated with that people don't look at. They just think, I have insurance, and you don't take insurance, so I'll go here. But okay, you go to your physician, run basic lab work, you get it, and you still get a bill for $150. Okay, well, I could have ran all that blood work for $100. Cash, no insurance.
That's when they pray for the insurance guys to take care of the whole bill, and it's these are things that they don't tell you. If anybody were to go to a practitioner right now, and get blood work done, they're not going to tell you, hey, this is how much the blood work is going to cost. This is how much your insurance, and you're going to owe us money. If that was the case, I would guarantee you that people will start looking around for a better rate.
Yeah. They don't, right? It's all hidden charges out there. And so that's where from an integrative health perspective, that's why our labs, we have set fees. I mean, everything's upfront. work with us. It's not expensive too. I know other practices out there charge $1,500, $2,500 just to see them and get started with the set package. We do more a la carte stuff here. So, basic consultation, pay for, we do have a free consultation, 15 minutes just to see if we could help you. Outside of that, a 45-minute consultation, an intake consultation to where we kind of go over, your kind of medical history, supplements you're on, your diet, current health issues, get to know you kind of thing. Then that's where we say, okay, well, based on all this information and maybe best lab work, whatever, we could guide you in the right direction, such as certain kind of tests. And for the most part we know people are strapped for money. So it's not, if you can't afford certain tests, there's things we could do based on symptom. But again, I'm a metrics kind of person. So I like to see, I don't want people wasting their money on supplements they shouldn't be taking. And two, you overworking your liver and stuff from taking supplements you don't need. It's just not needed. And so I think a lot of people out there are just, hey, you know what? You don't need a lab test. Just buy all these supplements for me and make all this money. And that's something I want to kind of educate people that more is not always better. So, if you don't need, most people are going to need D3K2. Most people need a certain amount of zinc, magnesium, vitamin C, a multivitamin. But outside of that, B complex, another one that a lot of people need. But outside of that, you hear all these other supplements that are out there. Oh, you should take this. This is good for this. I found so many issues. And if you look at all the research done, it was on 2020 not too long ago, but a lot of these junk supplements didn't even contain what they had. I think it was like a supplement from a local grocery store was selling a garlic pill. And once it got tested by a third party, it had 100% aluminum and no garlic in it.
Wow.
So think, okay, what are you doing to your body? You're just ingesting a heavy metal and you're causing liver issues, toxicity issues, premature graying of hair, thyroid issues. And it's because you're trying to better yourself, but you're blindly taking a junk supplement. So that's where more is not always better. So we, our focus based on lab testing, based on symptoms and stuff, you only may need a certain amount of supplements. And some supplements are not forever. It might be a protocol that's 3 months and then you get off and your body's good. A lot of these supplements you shouldn't be on long term. And I hear it all the time. Oh, I've been taking this for 15 years. I was like, I could only imagine what that did to your liver and kidneys.
All right, bet, yeah. And for me, like I said this before in previous podcast, my one specific level that I'm always low on is, I don't want to say low on. I was low, I should say now, because I'm fixing that now, was my vitamin D3.
Yeah, and that's average. That's like 99% of people. I don't know what the statistics are, but it's super high that pretty much everybody's deficient in vitamin D2, D3. So that's why it's important to take that K2, so it helps absorption of calcium and stuff. So I could see a lot of people staying on that long term because we don't get enough sun. And another thing that people need to know is vitamin D is technically a hormone, not just it's labeled vitamin D, but it's a hormone. So.
Well, I could tell you this right now. I know I was low on it, because lately I've been taking it, and from my last year's blood work to this year's blood work, it went up. And now it's in the green, but it's still closer to the red, towards like the lower side. And I want to get it either towards the middle or towards the high end. And I feel like with the doses that I'm on right now, it's just right for me.
Yeah, and just remember, it takes about 6 months for optimum levels to get your D3 levels up to optimal range. So again, it's not overnight. It's a 5-6 month process before you really see a change. So if you want your levels up to where they should be between 50 and 70, it's going to take at least 6 months. So a lot of people, again, I took it, doctor tested 30 days and it went up 2 points. I'm not going to take it anymore.
That's what hurts me, whenever I hear people say, or even bring it up, I guess they would bring it up and say, yeah, I took it for a week, but it didn't help me. It's like, it's just, not singling anybody out, but anybody that's taking, anxiety medicine, what's the one thing that the doctors tell you? Take it for 30 days and let me know how that feels. It takes up to 30 days for it to fully affect you.
Yeah.
So why not give that chance to your supplements?
Yeah, that's because it takes blood levels a while to get up and through your fat tissue and then liver and all that stuff. So all the time. That's why I tell people, same with vitamin C. Like, oh, I was sick, I took vitamin C. Well, taking it a day or while you're sick is not going to make a big difference. Taking it for, 3 months before you get sick, that's where you're going to notice a difference on if you stay sick and how long, even if you do get sick. So again, for mine, it probably took me taking the 2 to 4 grams of vitamin C after lab testing and having 0. It took my body probably about 2 years to get my levels up to like normal.
Just kind of bringing them up slowly, just that, and that's all. And I don't know, people out there expect. I took it for a month now. I'm perfect levels. I don't need it anymore. Well, your body's going to start, slowly making it or increasing that number. So some people may need to stay on it. Like I know for a fact, like I said, I know I'm going to be on D3 and K2, even though I'm a mailman. I'm outside all day. If it's going to help me, to have a better, like not get so drained out, not be so tired, but just have that specific hormone vitamin in me, I'm going to be doing it.
Yeah. And vitamin D plays a large role in your immune system too, and with hormones and stuff. So people don't understand how critical it is. And if you look back through our pandemic, a lot of the research showed that a lot of people that passed away from COVID were deficient in vitamin D. That was one of the things. That's why they started pushing, you have COVID, what should you do? And a lot of the researchers were showing, get your vitamin D levels up. Wow. You have a better chance at surviving. So again, it took a pandemic for people to kind of realize how important supplements are.
I think that's when everybody started kind of slowly waking up. I knew about supplements. I would take just regular generic supplements from a local health store by us, but it was just like, and it was just that, but I would only take it when I would remember, when I would eat in the morning on my days off. But now it's like, I am sticking to my, I don't know if they're 5, I like, it's my zinc, it's my C, it's my vitamin D, K2, my fish oil. It's 4. Those are the 4 that I take at night. Yeah, those are the ones that I cannot go, and it's almost like clockwork, and it's almost like as my body knows or feels, all right, it's 9 o'clock now. Let me go to the pantry. Let me go ahead and get my vitamins.
Yeah, and it's one of those where what drives me crazy is people go to their physician. If we could get them go to their physician, right? Outside of being, I have a sore throat, now I'll see a doctor, but they don't do routine lab. But outside of that, what drives me crazy is they'll go to a physician they don't know. They have no recollection, nothing about this person. They tell them, you're depressed, you need to take this depression medicine. It'll take 6 weeks to work. I'll schedule you back for, 8 weeks, 3 months, and then we'll talk about it again. And they do it.
Yeah.
But if we say, your immune system, you're sick all the time, take vitamin C, take colostrum, take a multivitamin. It's like, oh yeah, I took it 2 days, it didn't work, I'm not doing it again. It's blind faith. We're here to look at the root cause and identify the issue and rebalance the body so you could heal, versus a physician treating a symptom and give you a medication. For example, you have anxiety. Well, what's causing the anxiety, right? Is it based on, brain chemicals, or is it based on your nutrition and you're deficient in this and your body's overreacting to everything? Is it based on sensitivities, allergies? Like, they're not looking at any of that. They're just looking, you're not happy today, take a pill. But that's not fixing the root cause. So again, if you're, some people do have depression based on chemicals. Other people have depression because, or they have the depression symptoms because they don't eat. And then where'd the term come? Hangry, right? And people are angry all the time. What's wrong with you? Do you hate life? Like, it could be anything. And then find out, well, it's their blood sugar's low. Yeah. Maybe if they ate every couple hours, they'd be a happy person.
That's me. I am guilty. So this is exactly why we stick around to 1 hour podcast. Because if I would start going over, that's when I would be like, you know what? Let's go ahead and order some food now.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, it takes something big to shake you up. So let's discuss. I document a few real world examples here, and we'll talk about them. Right. So, what about after a heart attack? Right? Will that wake somebody up? You think?
Yeah, it would. And like I said, And like I said earlier, it would wake that specific person and his circle around him.
Yeah. So one example we have, John was 52 when he collapsed at work. His diet was heavy on takeout. He hadn't exercised in years. The heart attack was a shock, but the hospital stay charged everything. Well, the change and the charges, right, changed everything in his life. After that, he started meal prepping. He hired a coach and walked 30 minutes every morning. 6 months later, he dropped 30 pounds, normalized his blood pressure, and said, I wish I had started this 10 years ago. So that's a prime example right there. Again, why did John at age 52 wait to get more involved in his own health?
Because it was a wake-up call. This exactly is what happened. I could almost guarantee you just by, hearing that, I don't think he went yearly to go get like a physical.
Yeah, no, exactly. Right? Like, at least, I mean, nothing's perfect in life, right? When it's your time to go and your time to go, your name's written. It's written in that book. But outside of that, it's like we should do all we can to prevent what we can. And yes, you could be preventative. You see all these healthy people too that just, suddenly have heart attacks and stuff too. But did they have a heart condition? Did they go to the doctor yearly? They're eating healthy, but was it healthy for their body? Because we all go to these fad diets. Oh, let's go paleo, let's go vegan because we saw it. And I lost all this weight. I'm healthy. Or I did the weight loss GLP-1 injections. I lost, 50 pounds. But where did you lose the weight? Well, I don't know. Well, was it fat? I don't know. Was it muscle? I don't know. But you see all these studies now and things on TV, they're starting to do those class action lawsuits now against all these big companies. And it goes because if you do GLP-1, you need to exercise. So people are losing so much weight because they're losing all their muscle mass. That's why you have that, I don't want to say the name, but GLP-1 face. And that's where your eyes get sunken in and all that stuff because you're losing the muscle tone in your face. So you didn't lose fat. You lost muscle. So that's why if they do like those DEXA body scans, I forgot the name of them, but if they do those bone scans, they'll say, hey, you know what? You lost calcium and stuff in your body. You're doing this. You damaged that. You're deficient in this. Or all these people coming with stomach cancers and stuff now too. So, I mean, that's going to be a wake-up call. They thought they were doing good because they're listening to their physician. But on the other side is they didn't analyze, their nutrition.
And how about the ones that do take the shot? And they'll stop taking the shot. They lost the weight. They stopped taking the shot. But they're not working out. They're not eating right.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to gain all that weight back.
And that's why I try to tell people that are on the shot, if the shot's working, why? Well, usually these shots are to control your blood sugar, right? The other option is it also works to curb your appetite. So one of the root issues could be, well, maybe you're overeating. Maybe that's what you need to control. But there are supplements out there to curb your appetite naturally without doing an injection. There's supplements out there to curb your blood sugar, to help you eat more proper, to take that craving away. There's supplements you could do, not injection. And the supplements could help you gauge your blood sugar to where you start eating right, then you get off the supplement. So again, there's options out there. It's just a lot of people just know about, if I have an issue or if I have a question, go to see my doctor. And again, that's not what your doctor's there for. Your doctor is there to treat a symptom, right? Yep. And you go to your physician for a weight loss shot. One, is their focus on profit? But two, like, why is a physician, for example, I heard a guy saying that he goes to his primary for testosterone.
What?
Yeah, not even a hormone clinic or anything. And my big thing is, there's specialties out there, right? There's specialties all over the place. And a lot of these doctors are specialized in one certain area, not in that area. So you want to go to somebody that specializes in this stuff. And that's what we focus on: hormones, weight loss, migraines and stuff, and nutrition. And the reason for that is because that's where a lot of our research comes from, and our certifications align with that. So we want to get you on the right path and identify the root cause and, rebalance the body. So again, when you go to your doctor, ask them if they look for the root cause. That's all you need to know. If they don't, please reach out to us.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
So then we do have another one. So Maria was 38, busy working 2 jobs, drinking soda daily, like so many people. Always skipping breakfast. I'm a bad guy on that one. And snacking late at night. When her doctor said she was diabetic, she was stunned. She took a hard look at her habits. Within 3 months, she swapped fast food out for high protein meals, added fiber, and joined a community wellness group. Her A1C dropped, energy returned, and so did her confidence. So again, she waited until she was told by her physician that she's diabetic. I mean, I hear all these stories too. It's like, okay, my doctor told me my options are I could continue eating McDonald's and take a shot of insulin, or I could stop eating McDonald's, start exercising and not have to take any medication. And talking to my physician, he said, you know what? 90% of people rather take the shot.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. You started reading that and reading, drinking soda daily and skipping a breakfast, and snacking late at night. I right away I thought, man, this guy, he's reading my old information, all mine, because like I said it before in the previous pod, I was drinking 3 to 4 sodas a day. Cherry Pepsis to be exact. I would snack like crazy, and then especially late at night, I would have my cereal at night. But I switched everything around. I started eating heavier meals. Like a heavier lunch, a heavier dinner, and I noticed that I stayed, more. A lot of the cravings kind of went away, and then I started swapping. If I wanted something sweet, I would either a banana, a fruit, or like an apple, or like an orange.
Yeah, I think, like I'm totally a snacker too, but it's like we have to look at those habits. Okay, if it's hard for you to control snacking, at least snack with the proper food.
Yes.
So like you're saying, man, I'm hungry. I ate an hour ago, but I'm still hungry. You know what? Maybe I'll eat an apple or a banana. Maybe I'll eat something along those lines, or take a protein shake to get more protein in there. So it's just the right choices. But again, it's education, because a lot of people don't know. Their doctor doesn't say, you know what, stop pop or stop soda. Doctors say, you know what, drink it less often, or switch it to a Diet Coke and you'll be okay.
Jeez, that's even worse.
Even worse. So again, if you want to, cheat once in a while, hey, I have a Coke, I'll have this, do it. But don't make it a daily habit. So that's why I tell people, I mean, it's hard to be healthy. It's very easy to be sick though.
Yeah.
I mean, so again, don't wait till the last minute when you're having all these health issues to do something about it. I mean, we understand too, economy's not that great. Everything's expensive nowadays, but your health comes first. You're no good to your family dead. So again, take a priority in your health and spend the money. And it's, again, like our lab testing and stuff, I do everything dirt cheap, barely over, our cost, just to help people versus.
To compare to who? Or, no names, no, without throwing names, but just, and to me, it's insane just to think people out there with other practice, with a brick and mortar practice, have the audacity to charge that much. And I don't know, it's because like, we talked a little bit ago, and it's like, they got to take care of the insurance, the building, their employees and everything. So now I understand why they charge so much for some of these things. But, for it to be a virtual, you don't gotta go see nobody. There would be consultations. There'll be virtual consultations as well. There's not much profit to be made, and and like all the tests that I've seen that you offer are all, they're all under $1,000.
Yeah.
And there's other people that just for a consultation alone is over $1,000.
Yeah. So that's what it's like. Again, if you want a consultation, basic consultation, it's right now, I think, under $150 at this time in 2025. But incomparable, when you say, oh, I'm going to go to, this practitioner here in this city because they have a location. It's like, okay, when you walk out with between paying $1,500, $2,500 because they want to make you sign some contract and agree to some package. It's just, I get it. When I was there and had health issues and stuff, I was going to do whatever it took, how much money it costs, who cares? I got to fix my health. And that's why I was so crazy with the migraines. Like, what am I going to do? So I paid money to do it, right? Almost $3,000 just to get a couple of consultations and basic lab work done. And then now me being a practitioner and comparing, I said, I could have did all those same tests and consultations, everything for well under $1,000. So it's like, again, I could definitely charge a lot more and stuff too, but my goal in life is just to help others. That's why I'm keeping the price as low as possible, just to cover our costs and stuff, operating costs, website and all that, security and all.
Oh yeah.
Credit card fees. But outside of that, it's, faith-based. God always provides. So that's where I'm going with it. But yeah. So we have one other one is the one that people don't want to hear about but Darren had ignored his symptoms for months. He thought the fatigue, weight loss were just stress. When doctors found a suspicious lump, he panicked. Thankfully, it wasn't cancer, but it was a warning. He completely revamped his approach, cut processed foods, quit alcohol, and started meditating daily. He says that scare gave him his life back. So who wants to go through all that just for a wake-up call? Like, again, you're hearing this podcast, this could be your wake-up call.
I hope that's what it is. I hope people out there, I hope friends, families, they share it and they know, or if one of their friends are going through, things that we've talked about in the past, I hope they send it over to them, said, hey, these guys are talking about exactly what you told me, what's going on with you yesterday. One of the guys has gut issues. That's me. I'm the other guy, Mm-hmm. So it's like, if they want to reach out to me or they want to reach out to you, I would be more than happy to let them know, hey, this is what I've done. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm currently working on myself,
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like the reason I learned a lot of this is not just from school and certifications and stuff, but going through it myself. Again, I was with so many physicians and neurologists and specialists and all this stuff too. And, all these diagnoses, cancer to everything, brain tumors because I have migraines too. I don't have any of that. So, it was natural healing, but it took me to learn myself how to heal myself because I wasn't getting it through a physician. So again, the physicians aren't there. They're doing what they're trained to do. So they don't plan to do any harm. They're just doing the best they can with what they were given. Again, they're not trained in nutrition or anything like that. So
no.
So I that's why I don't bash. Like I still believe in Western medicine. You get a heart attack, go to the hospital. You get in a car accident, go to the hospital. But for your daily, healing and stuff like that, you don't use medicine.
That is the one thing I say. I do trust modern medicine when it's needed. But if I could prevent myself now from having to use it because of, XYZ happened, I'm going to do whatever it takes to take care of myself.
Yeah. And again, physicians, they're there to treat a symptom, not identify root causes. So no fault of their own, right? It's all about education and we're in a different field. And that's why we're kind of work together with medical doctors. And that's where we're teaming up with different physicians and stuff too, to offer different services. So we could kind of be, they get more into integrative health and lead their patients on the right path to healing, right? And some patients know, hey, you know what? I'm taking 15 pharmaceuticals now. It's not helping, doctor. My blood pressure is still high. I'm still having anxiety attacks. Well, you know what? Now it's time to focus on integrative side and let's look at your nutrition. Let's look at where you're deficient and let's heal the body. So hopefully get you off those medications.
That's always the long term. That is always the long-term goal, to heal the body. It's like, because a lot of these medicines out there, especially for like, depression, anxiety, from what I've studied on my own, it's like, they're not going to cure the issue. They're just putting a Band-Aid over it. So it's like, you either figure out what's going on with your body physically and internally and try to figure it out or reach out to us so we could help. Or, it's just like, how long are you going to continue taking, those prescriptions, I can't even say the word right now.
Prescriptions.
Yeah, those prescriptions,
yeah.
That the doctor recommended.
Yeah. So I was just thinking this while you're talking is, think of your doctor telling you to go, you know what? Hey, you want to lose weight, go exercise. You say, okay, doctor said go exercise, I'm going to exercise. But you want to lose weight, you're exercising every day, but you eat McDonald's 5 times a day. You're taking in probably, 6,000 calories, and then you're upset because you're not losing weight. But your doctor said, go exercise. But that's, again, we got to work on nutrition. A doctor is not trained in nutrition, a medical doctor. So that's where, again, we come into play. So again, we want to understand you're working out every day, you're not losing weight. Let's look at the root cause of that. Let's look at why you're overweight to begin with, right? Based on thyroid, based on gut health. Are you not just digesting the food and absorbing the nutrients correctly? Is it you're eating foods that are causing inflammation and that's the weight gain because you're retaining water? Is it your hormone levels are all over the place? Again, your testosterone, your estrogen, and so forth. And people don't think that because their doctor don't say, hey, you know what? Let's analyze your hormone. They just say you have a weight issue. Take this injection.
And this is the way I see it. This would be a quick freebie for anybody. It's like even before they reach out to you or myself, it's like if they start doing, counting their calories, if they start investing time in what they're eating and seeing what they're eating in the daily, and they'll figure out, hey, you know what, maybe this specific food, I could swap it off for something better that's less calories, and they'll lose the weight there like that. And then, before they even reach out to us, they could do their own thing, and it's like, all right, I've done everything. I've counted my calories over the month and nothing has changed. Then by all means, reach out, and try to get a hold on what's going on, what we can help with.
Yeah, for sure. I think most people live in a reactive state when it comes to health, though. So this means they don't make changes until something forces them. So until they're in pain, diagnosed, or scared enough to finally take it seriously. This is the wait until it's broken, then fix it approach.
That's not the, and me,
well, relate it to home repair.
Yeah.
Wait till your shower has a ton of mold, not just a little. Let's just wait till your mold's so bad it causes all these health issues before you replace your bathtub.
But by then, is it too late?
Right.
By then, if there's mold underneath the bathtub, subfloor. And how did you find out? Because my bathtub went right through the floor. How? Oh, because it's been leaking for years.
So wait until it's broken, then fix it.
No, not a way to live.
Yeah, so we want a proactive mindset, which is just the opposite. It's about, staying ahead of the illness. It means turning your body into something good, investing in prevention, and making choices today that, and you want to protect your future. Again, it's all about long-term health. And I was just talking to the guys at the gym about this today, is a lot of times we look in the mirror and as we get older and think, man, look at this wrinkle or look at this gray hair. But the outside is, thank God I'm alive today.
I agree. Yeah, that's the one thing. That's one of my biggest, in the morning, I just, praise God for, hey, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for putting me in this body that I could, take care of myself.
Yeah. And so that's why I say too, all the times is, don't focus on look and not, all right. You may see some big people out there and think, oh, these people are overeaters, and people judge them right away. Oh, he's fat, she's fat. They must eat a lot. But a lot of times it's hormone related, right? They can't control it. They're not eating. And sometimes when I have clients like that, and I struggle with weight issues my whole life, is a lot of times I'll have clients like that. When I have them keep track of their food, they're having like 600, 800 calories a day because they're working too much. They're going through too much stress and their body's shutting down. So it's not that they're overeating. So you can't just look at somebody big and say, hey, man, they must eat a lot. Again, it could be hormone-related issues, thyroid issues. I mean, there's so many things come into play that people don't understand. So that's where we try to educate on that side is, you know what? I said about that other book before, Eat for Energy. It's because most people do not eat enough. And the people that are overeating, it's because they're eating a lot of fast food or junk. Those are the overeaters. Now, if you're just eating, plant-based or, whole food-based, sometimes it's hard to get your nutrients. You could only eat so much chicken in a day. You could only do this. You could only get so many vegetables. I think it's like, I forgot the exact measurement, but like 9 servings of vegetables a day.
Wow.
Or within that time frame. But when you look at that, because I don't go based on those measurements. My measurements are based on your individual body. So based on testing, this amount of vegetables may be good for you. So it's hard for me to say you need 9 servings of vegetables a day when 3 servings of vegetables for you might be plenty based on lab work. So that's why I don't stick to any specific number until I test and then identify for your personal body what you really need. So again, looking at that, it's like, okay, these people are overweight and stuff. You know what? this person, when I do their lab work after we fix their nutrition, work on their hormone stuff, they may be 300 pounds overweight, but have a healthier heart, a healthier cardiovascular system than somebody that's 150 pounds that just eats junk.
Yeah.
So, but that's why looks are deceiving. So many people you see, oh, he's a runner, he does triathlons, and they die while they're doing a triathlon, but they have no body fat. They're vegans, they don't do any of this stuff. Well, they had a heart condition, right? But they never went doctor.
Gosh, just because you feel healthy doesn't mean you are healthy. Especially for the inside, for me, it's like I always felt healthy, but I know I have issues with my gut, because I'm still working on it. I think anybody will always continue to have issues with the gut, but it's always by taking the preventative measure, like the preventative measurements, just to make sure nothing that you may or may not eat will upset your stomach.
Yeah, so I think that's a challenge, right, between the two, reactive and proactive. Proactive care isn't urgent, it's quiet. So it's about discipline when nothing seems wrong. I think that's what's hard in the, like for a lot of people in this world full of distractions,
There's always distractions every single day. There's always a distraction, whether it's finance, whether it's, a screaming manager at your job, a bill is late. Just so many, there are so many things that slow you down in a daily.
Yeah, I think culture is another big one, right? We live in a culture that celebrates productivity over presence, especially here in America.
I agree.
Right? Hustle is glorified. Exhaustion is worn like a badge of honor. We see so many of these people that live and die for work. They say they love their family, but never around for their family. They say, they want to spend time and do these, things with their family, friends, but their life's about money and can't take it with you. So I don't know, because all these people that do make a lot of money are never home to spend it. Maybe
to enjoy it.
Maybe their family enjoys it, spending it while they're gone. But there's more to life than money.
Is it worth it though for some?
No.
So me personally, I don't think so. I feel my greatest. I feel the best when I'm with my family, especially when I'm out with them. I know when I'm out of work, it could be several hours after I'm out of work, and I know there's guys still working late, and it's like, is it worth it? When would it be too late? Or are they gonna get older and be like, it was never worth it?
Oh yeah, I would say when I was like in my 20s, I was like, oh, single, no kids. I want to be a millionaire. That's all my life was. I could care less. Just I want money. Now, as I get older, it's like, as long as I have the basic money to pay the bills, if that's 30 grand, but I'm content and I have freedom, I could take off when I want. I could go to the gym when I want. I could take my daughters to, the forest preserve if I want, anytime. That's living, right? Dollar amount, again, means nothing. Yeah, it pays the bills, but I don't know. To me, it's kind of like we live in a modern world of slavery, right? So you work to pay taxes, to pay taxes, to pay taxes. Who's benefiting?
Not me. I'll tell you that much right now. Not me.
So then you look at that. Not to get political, but you're working for an organization that's taking taxes out. You're paying a government that's taking taxes out and stuff too. So in the end, we're like a very little dot, and all these people above us are controlling us. So that's why I say like modern slavery, because what's work getting you? Like, again, we all need money to live. That's common sense, but life comes first, health comes first. That's why I always tell, students, I tell coworkers, employees, I tell them all the time, do what's best for your family. Like regardless where you work, if it's not going in your direction and stuff, what's best for your family? Just like political views, I tell people all the time, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, vote, do the research and vote what's best for your family,
Yes.
And there's no argument there. It could be the opposite of how I'd vote, but you know what? I support you because you did the research and you're doing what's best for your family, not just because of a name or a party or something.
No, and I agree. It's like, for me, I'm very grateful for the job that I have because it's providing, the finances. It has a roof over my head. It's feeding my family. So I'm grateful for all that, It's like, but there are some times that it's like, God, it's like, how long am I going to put my body through this? It's like, is it like, would I like to be a stay-at-home dad? Of course, I think anybody would, but ultimately, I am the man of the house. I'm responsible for my own family. Nobody else is. I am.
Yeah. I think we all skip meals, right? Ignore sleep. And a lot of us silence the systems with caffeine or over-the-counter meds. We usually do this just to keep going.
I agree.
You
You got
know?
a headache, pop a pill.
Yeah. And so when something feels off, that's what they want, a quick fix, a pill, a patch, a shortcut.
Geez, I don't know. It's the way that I've said, like now, before, like I would say before, it's like I would get a headache, I'll just pop, 2 Tylenols right away. Like without even questioning, well, where's it coming from? Why am I, and now anytime, well, why am I getting a headache? Well, how much water have I had? Did I not eat enough? Is it my allergies creeping up on me? The sinus pressure creeping up on me?
Yeah. And I understand all the migraine people out there and stuff too. That's why I did so much research, because of my migraines, and got involved in this. But when you look at that, it's all over the place for health issues, right? Like yours, you got a headache, but if you were before you started healing yourself, you would get a headache. You would have no idea the cause. You didn't even think about it, right? You would just pop ibuprofen. But now it's like, man, I know, you know what? I didn't eat all day or didn't drink all day. I got a headache now. I know the cause. But it's hard to get to that stage because it takes time, because you have to really clean your body before it's clean enough to identify a trigger.
No, yeah. And one of the biggest things that I had seen a post that said, when you detox your body, and it says, when you do a detox, be careful what you put in it. Don't retox what you just detoxed. And to me, it's like, oh man, that was awesome. It's like, I've never heard that. I never read it anywhere, but I liked it. Be careful when you retox, when you just detox your body, and then that could be just anything. Anybody could do a 7-day detox, and then next thing you know, oh, well, let me just go get some McDonald's breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody loves McDonald's. I love McDonald's breakfast, but I know it's so bad for you.
Yeah. And yeah, not good. But I'm with you, right? We all like our cheat meals and fast food once in a while and stuff. And again, it's not bad when you have it, once in a while, but again, just don't make it a daily habit. Live the best you can, healthy wise. But again, true healing, especially integrative healing, takes time, intention, and consistency, like we talked about.
I agree.
So that's the thing. Our society doesn't reward slowness, but health often requires it. They go to physicians and think, oh yeah, I'll take this for 6 weeks and not have any gripes or complaints. But again, you want to take supplements or eat proper, it's a big complaint.
No, I agree. But why does something bad have to happen to finally care, though? That's what I want to know. It's like, nothing for me. Like for me, I was low. I technically, you could say I was malnourished because I wasn't eating enough myself. Even though my wife would make the meals, but me walking so much, burning so many calories, it wasn't enough. I would have to eat 2 huge meals, one during work and one during dinner. Yeah. But and it's still mind-blowing to me that there are other people out there that are going through this and they don't know what's happening because they don't invest.
Yeah, you know what? Here's another challenge for people. Go to your doctor and ask if there's a possibility you're malnourished. What do you think your doctor would say?
Oh, they would. I don't know. I don't know.
So I researched this before. So growing up, I used to think, oh, well, my multivitamin, why do I need that? I'm getting nutrition. I'm in America. We have, a first world country. Why would I need a multivitamin? And then I read, and it's like, oh no, you talk to your doctor. Yeah, you need multivitamin. Or some doctors like, it doesn't matter. They don't work, whatever. It's all about the research. A lot of physicians don't do research on that. You do have ones now getting more involved, like online and stuff with integrative health, and they're making leaps and bounds, what they're doing and researching. But I just touch on one thing on there that I saw is like a lot of research on cancer treatment, with ivermectin, fenbendazole, and stuff like that. That research is getting crazy and it's healing a lot of people. So there's hope out there. But these are doctors that didn't believe in that kind of care, now strongly believe in that kind of care that people could do with an over-counter product.
Yes.
So I mean, times are changing, right? But that's, again, we're here to educate too. So, but looking at it from that perspective is that, once I did the research and stuff, and now being a practitioner on that side, is you could go to your physician, say if you're malnourished, right away they'll just look at you and say, no, you're fine based on your weight or whatever. Okay, then you come to us and we'll do functional labs. And I'll say, man, you're deficient in vitamin C. You don't have no, boron, no, minerals in your body. You're lacking Bs. Your D level's low. You're all this stuff. Right away, you're deficient in this stuff. So how could a doctor say that just by looking at you and somebody's weight? Again, if I see somebody 500 pounds, I can't say they're malnourished. People would look at them and it's like, there's no way they're malnourished. Look how much they eat. You know what? I bet you if I lab tested them, I'll find deficiencies, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. And yeah.
So again, it's education because people don't know these things. And I don't blame anybody for that because I didn't know these until I did my own research and took years to heal my migraines. And I wasn't going to get it anywhere else. So I had to take it upon myself. So that's why I'm at where I'm at.
To what I had asked you earlier, it's like, why do people care until something finally happens? Do you think it's because we're scared of the cost or the truth?
Well, I think it's fear and avoidance. Here's something that most people won't admit. They're scared to find out what's going on. Like I said, we have friends, we have a lot of people we know, they're out of sight, out of mind, right? It won't happen to me kind of mentality, or even if it does, I don't care. I'm not going to die anyway. It's like, no, that's not what we're here for. So they always avoid labs, skip checkups, ignore early warning signs. Again, it's not because they don't care. They're just too afraid to hear the truth. It's easier to delay than face the idea that something might be wrong. I think that's for me. One thing to know, if you overtest, so if you go to your physician all the time saying, oh, I want MRI all the time, and say they ran it all the time, at some point they're going to find something, even if it's a misdiagnosis.
Of course.
Just to treat you, right? And you hear those scans and those doctors getting those, forgot the ones, but you hear doctors going to jail right now because they were treating people that didn't even have cancer, right? They're for profit. And so they finally got caught and arrested, but they treated people with chemo that didn't even have cancer, but because they saw, say, a cyst or something on their lab work and said, oh yeah, you have cancer. So that's the thing too. It's like there's alternate treatments out there for everything, right? So that's why they say, why would a lot of physicians say you could go to somebody else for a second opinion? Is it because they practice?
Because you're there in their office already. They already have you. You already walked into that room and you sat down. A lot of people, that go to the doctor already had to wait 3 to 4 months to even get that appointment. Do you really think once you're sitting in there and they say this and they tell you, and they will never tell you, it's up to you if you want to get a second opinion. They'll tell you, all right, let's let you know what's going to be happening on the next following, steps on what we could do to prevent or, help you with this.
Yeah. So that's where, like integrative health, we help people face the unknown with curiosity, not fear. Again, another thing is I think a lot of times happen because like a delay in cost, because silence, again, doesn't mean safety. So that's why we focus on something that is happening, not just what, it's labeled as. So that shift in mindset from avoidance to awareness is often where true healing begins. I mean, again, it goes based on education. So that's what we're trying to do with these podcasts is, educate others out there, right? And I think then our topic too is like sick care versus health care.
Yeah.
I think, people don't understand the difference. So many people are just in the sick care mentality and they don't know that they think sick care is health care.
No, not at all. It's pretty wild, and just to kind of touch back on the doctors, it's like, what about even the ones that are, like misdiagnosing people? You said it right now, people are getting arrested, it's like doctors are getting arrested and it's like, why? There's a reason for that. And, and it's like, these are the people that went to school for that, to prevent issues, but.
Thank God I have a good family practitioner that believes in health, so I kind of referred Gerardo to him too. And one thing I like is like, he's very, not just, hey, you need to get this lab test done. It's like, well, I don't think you need to get that if you really don't need it, right? Based on your symptoms, let's do these things first before I'm going to send you for all these exams and stuff. Because it costs people money and people don't have money nowadays.
Yeah.
And two, like if you think of that mentality and caring for your patients, then they're going to come back because, hey, you didn't waste, hey, I had a little chest cold and it ended up being like post-nasal drip and you told me take an allergy pill. that helped. But most doctors would send me for x-ray, now CT scan on my chest.
Jeez.
Now I'm exposed to all these, radiation and stuff. He avoids all that by saying, you know what, let's really look at your symptom. Let's dive in, understand, what you've been doing, all that stuff. So luckily we have a good physician there. But outside of that is there's a lot of physicians I do not trust, because it's like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
No, that's exactly how it is. Even to go drop off at my old practitioner, I would go and drop off paperwork. I would get a bill. Just because they took the time to do it, and it's like, I thought you were there. Like, all right, you know what? You're part of a big, organization. I want to go to a smaller practice,
Yeah. And that's where we're more focused with our patients and all these large practitioners too. So, but I want to explain too the difference between sick care and healthcare. So again, sick care is what most people experience when they interact with traditional medicine system. Again, it's reactive. It steps after you're already sick, when a system has escalated, and when diagnosis is on the table, when medication or surgery is needed. It's not about prevention. It's about that buildup of managing illness. So in fact, most insurance plans, doctor visits, and medical procedures are focused on treating disease, not preventing it. Again, on the sick care side, it says, let's wait until high blood pressure, then prescribe something. The other one would be if they want to monitor for pre-diabetes and then treat it when it gets worse. Or let's suppress your symptoms, not necessarily find the cause. And I think that's mainly in regular medicine practices right now, is suppress your symptoms. So you have high blood pressure. Well, what's the cause?
Gosh.
Right? It's not taking a pill to slow down your heart to lower your blood pressure. Identify the root cause of your blood pressure. Is it blood sugars too high? Is it a problem with your kidneys? I mean, there's so many things come into play. You have to take a look at every little thing. But again, it keeps people surviving, but not necessarily thriving.
But why wait?
I know.
That's the biggest thing. Why wait? Like, and just hearing it, let's wait until the high blood pressure. Let's monitor the pre-diabetes. It's just like all that. Just kind of like knowing what I know now. It's like, take your time, research. You could reach out to us. Just take your time, do your due diligence, study on your own. And if it's too much, if it gets too overwhelming, you could prevent most of those.
Yeah, and we're here to help. We'll give free information out there too. So don't hesitate to reach out and ask us a question. But when it comes to true healthcare, the kind we focus on at Integrative and on the functional side is proactive. It's about keeping your body, mind, and environment in balance before you get sick. So we ask, why is this happening? What's driving inflammation, the fatigue, weight gain, brain fog? How do we support the body's ability to heal? It includes things like nutritional support, movement and rest, stress reduction, detox pathways. Again, we always recommend like a 7 to 21 day functional medicine detox. We also want to do preventative testing and early intervention and check your emotional and mental well-being. This is real healthcare because it's focused on building resilience, not just avoiding catastrophe. Again, insurance does not cover prevention, so people don't value it, right? Because they have to pay cash, credit card. Fast food versus organic food pricing gap, right? A lot of people don't want to spend the money on organic food. They don't think it means anything, right? Or, grass-fed meat.
Gosh, that's that one. That one to me, it's like, just if you could spend it for the organic, for the fresh stuff, do it. Take care of your body.
Yeah, and we have that list out there, that Dirty Dozen and stuff too. You could Google Dirty Dozen list and truly understand what you really need to do when it comes to organic food. But mindfulobjective.com/resources, and there's different shopping guides and stuff like that and ways to go food shopping. So people spend money on cars, phones, and vacation, but skimp on supplements or lab tests. I mean, that's so common, right? The fake rich, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They make $30,000 a year, but they're driving a brand new Tesla while I'm not.
Yeah.
So again, another thing is trust issues. Some think natural wellness is a scam. Turn it around and see how much you spend with your physician, and let me know if you're healed.
I was about to say that too, and it's like, it's one of those things. It's like, take the time, take care of yourself. You've been on that medicine for a while. Try to go the holistic way. Try to go, this way and see how you like it and how you feel. It doesn't hurt to try it. You've already been on medication by your doctor for so many years. Why?
Yeah. And it goes back to lack of education on long-term benefits. They don't realize we're here for the long-term gain, right? Not the short-term, hey, tomorrow you're fixed. That doesn't work. It's long-term, right? Especially like I hear some people say, if it took you, 10 years to get high blood pressure, why do you think it's going to be cured in a day?
It's not.
Right? It's going to take time to go down and heal your body. But so real talk examples here is we spent $1,000 on a phone, but not $100 on a functional medicine lab panel.
Gosh.
How common is that, right? But we
Okay.
join a gym, go twice and cancel, but then we buy daily Starbucks.
That one right there. That one for most people, they're spending maybe $7 to $8 per cup. And then not to mention if they're going to work, they're going to add a meal to that, whether it's a bread, a sandwich, something. It's going to run up that tab to what, $12, $13?
Yeah.
So it's to me, it's like I used to think eating healthy was expensive, but hospital bills are a lot worse.
For sure. I think that's what people need to analyze. And that's why I say all the time is people say, oh, I'm only going to go if I use insurance. But again, what bills do you get after the fact? Yeah, you might not pay up front. But when you get the bill in the mail and you see $80, $20 for this lab, $15 for this lab, and you're like, I don't even remember this lab in Michigan. Why am I getting billed for this?
Exactly.
Like all these little things, the throat culture. Insurance covered, it's $80, insurance covered $10. Now you owe $70 to the doctor for that. And you may have not needed it. So the other thing too is, what happens when we make a healthy priority before crisis? I think that's something we need to talk about. So let's talk about something I say often in my practice. Prevention is cheaper than treatment. And I don't just mean cheaper in dollars, it's cheaper in time, stress, and energy too.
I will agree with you 100%, especially for the prevention is cheaper than treatment, because once you're already dealing with high blood pressure and diabetes or fatigue that just won't go away, man, honestly, that it's not just money. It's literally disrupting your life now.
Yeah, no, I'm a prime example of that, man. I had so much fatigue and stuff with the migraines. When you're in pain all the time, it just depletes your body of energy, right? So I understand all those migraine sufferers out there that have nowhere to go. That's why I specialize in migraines. But so, exactly on that. People will hesitate to spend a few $100s on a functional lab testing or personalized supplements, but then they end up spending thousands on medications and hospital bills later on. And that's why I said, they say, you know what? Hey, you're having a pain on your right side. Doctor says, oh, it's your gallbladder. They send you to a specialist. You go to a specialist. They're like, oh yeah, get your gallbladder out. Then I take a look and like, what's the percentage of your gallbladder? Oh, well, it's 95% working, 5% not. And a surgeon says, remove your gallbladder. You know why? That's their special work.
Okay.
That's what they do all day long. So keep your gallbladder. That's what I say. Even if my gallbladder was at 5%, I would not get rid of it. I would continue to keep my gallbladder and just eat properly. It's all about changing nutrition. So it's a mindset shift from I'll deal when it happens to I'll protect myself now.
To protecting yourself, but that doesn't mean, like for me, for that, to protecting yourself, it's like, it doesn't have to be big changes overnight, right?
No, not at all. It's all about small daily habits, get enough sleep, drink water, eating real food. Again, nutrition's a large part of your life. Moving your body, of course, you sit a lot. I mean, you move a lot. So
I try to,
Yeah. So
I have no choice. Well, I do have a choice, but I like it, because it's part of my job. And I'm grateful that I get to move, It's like I could either be stuck in the office inside, no sun, but I'm outside.
Yeah, I mean, another one is stress, right? People need to learn to manage their stress. So many people are angry, wonder why you're angry. Is it really your job or is it because you're not eating enough, right? And so many of us work in a fast-paced environment where we forget to eat, right? So then you wonder why you're sick later. You gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, have problems with your testosterone, estrogen, all that. Well, that's because you're not eating, right?
And that's stuff that we tend to overlook when we're busy. Over time, it stacks up, man.
Yeah, I think we both learn from that,
Yes.
Right? So that's where a lot of people miss mental health, sleep, food, stress. They're all connected. They can't fix one thing and ignore the rest. Your body doesn't work in silos.
That's when integrative approach makes so much sense. looking at the whole picture instead of just the symptoms.
Yeah, and you learned that, right? Because if we looked at you from that lens, we would just say, "Oh yeah, you're losing weight and stuff. Just eat fast food, whatever. You're fine." But you know what? Are you deficient in stuff? Is your gut healed enough to absorb the nutrients? Right? What if you had 3,000 calories and you had 200 grams of protein? We tested you and you found out you're only absorbing 30 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Then it's like, man, you need 500 grams of protein just to absorb what you need to
be able to, yeah.
But you won't know that because
No.
you think I'm eating all this stuff. And then, well, you know what? It's not doing anything for you. So again, and then so many people overeat protein and stuff like that too, and damages their liver and kidneys. So it's like things in moderation, eat proper, eat well balanced, and eat whole foods, try to stay away from canned foods and stuff like that. I mean, there's times where we have no choice, but eat healthy as much as you can. That's all we ask for. Is make a little diet changes here and there, but just get on the right track. And if you need again, shopping list, mindfulobjective.com/resources. There's different kind of resources in there to help you too.
Bottom line is, if you invest now, you save a lot more than money. Your time, your energy, and even your future quality life.
Yeah. And the other thing too is we need tools that do like functional labs. People need health coaching and personalized supplements to uncover root causes early, at least before something causes a major issue,
Oh yeah, of course.
I think that's the real win, not wait until you're broken to start paying attention.
Yeah. For me, it's the one question that I would ask you, what are the biggest mindset shifts that help people stick with it?
I would say like small changes. Again, if you do something dramatic, it's hard to stick to it, right? Like even a 7-day detox is hard. It's very hard, a 7-day detox. People think, I could do 7 days, no problem. Well, once you start fasting and doing this stuff, it's not that easy, right? So slow approach. Just slowly eat, change your stuff. First thing, proper shopping. I'd say that's the first. I would say download the shopping list, stuff like that. Buy meals, look at your packages, at least start there, and then, move forward.
The other one would be, honestly, for me to ask you is, how can someone start small without being overwhelmed?
Yeah. Again, if you went with just that shopping list, I think as long as they start there and just say, okay, I'm going to buy this kind of meat. I'm going to start eating organic. I mean, those little things have a large impact over time. Again, you could change it all up and get overwhelmed and then quit. That's why I say small changes, right? You're not buying organic now, buy organic. See how that goes. Then from there, start spending money on grass-fed meats or organic chicken, right? Let your body adjust to that stuff. Same thing. You're not taking a good multivitamin. Start there. Take a good multivitamin, right? So again, if you need help with any of that, reach out. We'll gladly answer any questions. So the big thing is like, when do we realize that health matters, right? Personal health scares or shifts. Is it based on family experiences that trigger change? Is it the people that say, I wish I had started earlier moments? It's just, we don't know.
That's the one right there, man. That's the one that, you just said it right now. I wish I had started earlier. And the same thing for me. It's like, I wonder, if I would have started my health journey a lot sooner, how things would have been, as far as to me finding and fine-tuning my body a year ago to now, it's like, I just wish I would have started earlier. And I wish all my friends could be on everything that I'm on, but, we're all in our own race, it's like, I'm not competing against nobody. There are things that I do try new, if I like them, if I don't like them, if it's a supplement that I would recommend to my friends, but I'm not out there trying to, I'm not trying to heal every single friend of mine. I'm not, if they're interested, they know what I'm up to, they could reach out.
Yeah. Could lead the horse to the water. We can't make them drink.
Exactly.
Right. So again, we'll start wrapping things up here. So health shouldn't be about reaction. It should be about habit. Like we said, small daily habits, slowly start eating better, get on the right track. So if there's one message we hope you take away from today, It's this: you don't have to wait for a diagnosis, a scare, or a crisis to start taking care of yourself. Your body is constantly communicating with you through your energy, digestion, your mood, your sleep. When you start listening, that's when real change begins. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Again, start small, drink water, go to bed 30 minutes earlier, swap one processed meal for something nourishing. These choices add up. Again, things take time, so do it over time. So be proactive in how you build foundation that lasts physically, emotionally, and mentally.
The one thing I will say is it's your body. If you don't invest in it, who will?
Exactly. And I mean, again, it's your body. But yeah, if you found this episode helpful, share it with somebody that needs a nudge in the right direction. And be sure to join us next time for more real talk on reclaiming your health, one habit at a time. A quick medical disclaimer: this podcast for informational, educational purposes only. We do not diagnose, cure, or treat any illness. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. Follow us on social media at Mindful Objective. Visit the website again for helpful resources. So again, you could go just mindfulobjective.com and click on the links, or mindfulobjective.com/resources. We appreciate you being here. The thing is, start asking better questions. So when you talk to people, talk to your doctor, ask more questions. Curiosity leads to clarity, and clarity leads to change. That's how you move from reaction to intention. See you next time. Stay well.